the Leafs look bad.
Yeah.
The Blues, though, oh, they look good.
Yep.
Like, really good.
Uh-huh.
And Alex Steen, I mean, he looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, do you think the Leafs should trade William Nylander? You stupid.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Come on. The Leafs won a thing. Austin Matthews. Moto. Wizardry.
Well, time for a rebuild.
This team is ruining my life.
Leafs lose, in the words of Vladimir Tarasenko, 5-1 to the St. Louis Blues. Bend your knees and grab your bag because that is their second straight dog pile. Second straight game where it's not even worth talking about the individual goals. How did they start so strong and then look like this? The Blues couldn't get a shot off in the first few minutes. Tyler Bozak taking a big hit behind the net, making plays happen though, doesn't give up and it passes it to JVR. JVR puts it in front and Marner buries it because that kid is disgusting. And then here's what happens, okay? Here's what happens. Alex Steen scores for the Blues because of course! Now, here's what most teams do when they lose a 1-0 lead. Oh, shoot, they scored on us. All right, well, it's a tie game. We'll come back next shift with a lot of effort and we'll do this. Yeah. Yeah, that's totally how NHL players talk. Here's what the Leafs do. Uh-oh, fellas, they just tied it. Actually, I wish they showed that much energy. You know what? You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose sometimes. Leafs have lost 3 straight in regulation, but for this group, that's a rarity. You might even get your teeth kicked in back-to-back games, which the Leafs have. What is concerning is they don't even look present. Like, that was it. They tied the game, and that was it. The Leafs had lost. At some point during the third, I don't know, because I was half asleep, they said, oh, the Blues are out shooting the Leafs 8-2 in the third. The Leafs were losing by multiple goals. Are you freaking kidding me? You're not taking on a bunch of superheroes. It's the St. Louis Blues. All right, they're a solid team. You beat them with the ragtag bunch you had last year. Babcock losing it on the bench, and for good reason, because what the hell? It's one thing if you suck, and I think Leafs fans can identify teams that suck with all the experience that we have. It's another when you're at least decent and don't look like you're trying. The one bummer, the biggest bummer, is the Leafs don't give fans much warning when they're going to do things like this. Because living in the Eastern time zone, I would have liked the morning that they were going to take the night off, because I would have too. Game doesn't even start till damn near 9:30, and I'm there at second intermission like, do I turn it off? And I am so broken and damaged that I'm like, but maybe, like, do you know what kind of a person you have to be? Seriously, do you know what kind of a person you have to be for a Leafs fan to not like you? Because despite the bad rap, despite the center of the universe bad rap, Leafs fans believe harder than anyone in the world. Oh, sure, your grandma goes to church every Sunday, but did she watch the 2014 to 2016 Maple Leafs? Where was grandma during the third period of Game 7? Leafs fans will sit through anything and be like, maybe they can do it. If a Leafs fan gives up on you, you got a problem. Because they watch the Leafs and go, well, maybe, and they look at you and they go, nah, I can't fix that. I need to know if the rest of the season is going to be like this. I need to know right now. And I gotta know because the Leafs have given me so much reason for optimism and hope and belief that they will make the playoffs, but all I hear screaming around that cliff corner is that 18-wheeler going, eastbound and down. Is this Groundhog Day? Is this Groundhog Day? I need to know. I need to know before they blow it against the Bruins and a huge opportunity against the Bruins on Saturday. I need to know before the Florida Panthers come screaming up the rear because Huberdeau and Barkov are magically back from the dead. I need to know before Habs and Sens fans get to brag about being in the playoffs and the Leafs don't. How pleasant do you think that's gonna be? Fans in Alberta with a reason to gloat against Torontonians, they probably won't take that, right? And another thing, will the Leafs trade William Nylander? If there's anything the St. Louis Blues have taught us, it's don't trade a guy that you picked in the first round who's Swedish, who has a dad who played in the NHL. Also, don't trade for Roman Polak, unless you're trying to acquire him from the Leafs, in which case my phone is on! St. Louis Blues fans, I apologize, okay? Last night I tweeted, oh, because that stupid bell goes off and the fans count 1, 2, 3 every time you score a goal. Oh, congratulations. I said, oh, I want to hear that bell go off for every time the Blues have won the cup. And then Blues fans responded with, well, we've won the same amount of cups you have since 1968. And I realized it's just sad for both sides. Because that is pathetic, but it's also right. But I do gotta give it to Jake Allen. I really do, because I think that was a perfect game for him. Because I said, oh, shutout inbound. This is almost better. You're talking about a guy who really needs a confidence boost, okay? And the Blues get scored on first. And he could have panicked, he could have crumbled, but no, what happened was he held the fort from then on. Because you don't have to be perfect to win, sometimes you're gonna get scored on. It's how you react. And props to his teammates for, holy smokes, lighting it up. So now, alright, here's what we got. The Bruins on Saturday. That's the biggest game of the season so far. Get used to that because we're going to be saying that for the rest of the season. Then next week, the Leafs get the Blues and Stars again. At home this time. After a bleak 3 days, a win over the Bruins would be enormous. And following that up by showing the Stars and Blues they can't smack you around would help. And if they can't do that, I'm worried that 18-wheeler is going to go, "House so empty, need a centipede." Why was he listening to The Weeknd? Last time he was listening to Eastbound and Down. The driver of the 18-wheeler has a very eclectic taste in music. He's CanCon compliant, so that's nice. Question of the game. Are you actually worried? Because, on one hand, I know the Leafs are better than this. But on the other hand, I know the Leafs are better than this. So why is it happening? That's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Holy smokes! I could keep you company all weekend. We released podcasts on back-to-back days on Wednesday and Thursday. You can check that out. I was also co-host with Greg Wyshynski on the Merrick vs. Wyshynski podcast. I wrote something on the Steve Dangle blog on Renata Fast. She is a defender for the Toronto Furies, and I've just made a lot of stuff. Might be on TV too. Where I am either going to talk about an actually good team or the Colorado Avalanche to make myself feel better.